an American
accent. A bit more official. Well, look, we got Insani in the server, Alex, and Config on the other side. So some new additions, not too many maps played for the Brazilians, and NiP with this newest addition, none. And, there's really a lot to unpack here, but let's frame this as a pug with some frills.
A pug with some frills, and I'm not talking about the dog, though that would be quite aesthetically pleasing as well.
Woof woof.
Oh, info. Good spot from Config. So he's screaming that there's action yard, and oh, Hedrick did not hear that one. Might want to fiddle with his headphones after that opening death. Now Alexi into the lower site. Is going to be tucked in. Rez housekeeping towards that Squeak T vent.
Lots of space for Insani here. He's out, he's about, and oops, spotted towards the T vent. Rez, aware of something, turns, not in time. Good kill from Insani, better from Turtle.
That is a pistol round perfect in execution from MIBR. Turtle with 2. Just going to be Alexi B left to make the best of a bad situation.
Lots of misdirection there, right? We're able to manufacture a lot of gaps, force the rotations, classic play, what you're looking for. What about like Nuke? And I think MIBR would be happy to find it, here in this territory. Alexi, that was crispy. What more do you have for us here, sir? As he will get dealt with by exit. He'll grab a kill, and we will be putting the pistol around to MIBR's name.
Something I think we're going to have to keep tabs on is that loss of communication for NiP in terms of knee-jerk reactions and having your fundamentals ironed out. So who goes where when this guy dies? In terms of reps, like, so that this death from Hedrick opens up so many questions. Config, he then goes out, he says, 2 secret could have crossed, someone has to go lower, Alexi goes lower, and suddenly gaps everywhere.
And this is going to be the biggest issue, right? Because sure, the rotations are pretty ironed out on a map like Nuke, but you still need to know how your team does it, right? Who's going to respond?
Oh my god.
Brollan, he stalled them out for now. That's bomb loose, heading with the trade, needs to find another and does.
Yeah, problem solved. You got Sketchy for a second, exit on 7 HP, still with that AK-47. The bomb is in Config's grasp. Molotov can solve their problems because Brano considering it. Henny is still on that top side silo. You can see a flash from Hedrick. Alexi to get that info, but there is so many fights about to go down. Flash in. Alexi, hard shots, can't track. Henny down, traded by Breno. Config was smoked off, could not contribute. Still a bit sketchy. They can reset. They're going to re-smoke main. That does imply it's going to be a main side plant. Config could take a pot shot, chooses not to.
Yeah, that's going to call it off, right? 18 seconds of that smoke being layered as the bomb goes down. Well, at that point, 20 seconds remaining. A scout and a deagle for a retake in a number disadvantage situation. No, no, no. Now, exits. See if you can, not the player, I'm talking about, sorry, Rush. I'm talking about kills. If they can find a bit more damage here, maybe scavenge away an AK. That'd be lovely.
Players have already started decorating the halls of Cedarwood Creek with some sprays. Nice to see their artistic license being utilized.
I think even something as simple here as Hedrick may be able to find a pistol that gets blown away, because then he can drop the pistol, keep the scout. Right now he only has a USP. And, well, finishing back of Warehouse, I don't think that's going to come his way. So 2 guns retained. And a 2-0 for MIBR. Now, doing a fast top against NiP completely removes the questions you were just talking about. Rotations, well, it's heads-up Counter-Strike, it's in your face, but they were taking advantage of the lack of util. We know on a map like Nuke, you need a molly towards Squeaky, a molly towards Heart, right? That's just to stall out the potential rushes, and this is great from Henny. Controls it to grab the second on the res, and he's in the sight. So, well handled, and should be on course here for a 3rd.
Couldn't ask for more. Good start, flashes out, nade off, smoked in, and charging. Brollan as well, lots of damage, look at their health. MIBR behind them with a knife out. Brollan trying to block them, they can't get down the vent. This is so ridiculous. Now they'll descend loudly.
Let him down.
Brollan lets them go, he'll come behind. Oh, everyone's lost. It's 2 down, he says, as Breno catches Brollan, and what could have been a disaster seems to return.
Oh dear, we all know that feeling. You know, you're walking down the street and someone's coming your direction, you both step the same way, then you step back the other way, and then you look at each other like, well...
I think he inadvertently was blocking both of their descents.
Yeah, he was
standing in between them.
A fat wedge between the 2 of them right there. Hedrick's found another kill here, so actually, this might shape up all right for NiP. They have the number advantage, everybody has something better than a starter pistol.
It's really on Alexi B not giving this fight up for free. He's got Hedrick holding it, so all he really needs to do is react to Hedrick's call. They can't go slip secret. Smoke will land, does nothing in that regard, just towards the lockers. Now they have crossed Hedrick already. I may have made a mistake in that regard, so This little main angle slither gap he's holding.
But look at the time.
Yeah, that's the end of Alexi. Short, 25. It does get awkward, certainly now when scout shots are being hit, because the bomb's now loose. You have to go for this. Insani's bailed them out onto head trick. Still, that time, it makes things interesting. One Deagle headshot or one to the body will do. Onto Henny. Config makes it a 2-on-2.
Rez still here.
And Rez needs both. Okay, one bullet in it. You can celebrate MIBR, but that was very dangerous.
In a mop and bucket round, Insani, the newest addition from the academy team of MIBR, gets 3 kills. So great, that is going to really bolster your confidence here, right? Those are, I'm not going to say they're gimmies, but they're essential to not flub around like that for MIBR. So great job here from the young gun. Insani just ripping a few heads away here and even closing things out to secure the third. So good stuff early as, well now NiP will be into a
feeling themselves.
Big buy.
Let's see. Let's see what NiP can lay down here. This is CT side Nuke. You expect to see a bit of a lockout once the guns come out and the util can stop that initial charge. Config's actually opted for an early descent. So he might maneuver towards that secret stairs and have a glance at the yard crawl.
Looks like he will be in combination here with Headtrick as the yard duo, where you tend to have a rifler who's a bit more dynamic. Well, the AWP are very dynamic as well, lots of different angles, but you need those two to be in sync. Alexi B ramp and Rez and Brollan to lock down top side.
This is forward of Config. Oh, and deleted by Breno. It doesn't get really much easier than that.
Was his barrel blocking the line of sight there? Because it felt a little bit too late to the reaction there, and now they've lost so much space as well as a body.
Now you've lost info so much. Brollan can't really report if there's anyone trying their luck. Good awareness. Catches Breno emerging into the warehouse. Now Exit has gotten across. He'll be parking the bus and looking to arrive late into this final piece. Still a 4-on-4. Alexi on ramp might be tested here.
If they get through Alexi, they might just drop down into the... Oh, I was going to say jaws of Headtrick. He's rotated back just in time to take the fight and
Perfect.
drop the bomb.
They switch. Now Alexi could be utilized. You've already got the setup. If they want to go wrap, that's their choice. But right now, bomb. And just 2 members of MIBR.
Has to be B though. Exit's in the lower site. Unless he goes up the vent and they split top site here. This one's looking wonky.
What's the plan, lads? Loses his shoes. Insani. Out.
Save?
Save. Likely. You have to break glass to have that. This setup is actually working out well for NiP. A good catch as Hedrick goes looking. And oh no! Henny gets 2. They've only got 5 seconds, but the body's taken down. And again, that's 2 rounds in a row where MIBR seem they can hit their shots. They can win their duels. The time is becoming a bit of an enemy.
Yeah, the options were taken away from them there, and little did they know, if they'd actually gone up the heavens, they could have planted in topside, because we saw 2 players pushing through radio to clean out ramp behind him, the 2 players towards lower, and this was all with Config giving up the first death here. So great job from Hedrick to stall them out, and this is where everything becomes a question. If we go down towards lower, think about those long sight lines. We have to deal with this AWP. If he tucks all the way to backside, gets in the window side, those aren't easy fights, but they will force behind this.
Could be pacey, but towards yard, interestingly enough. They've avoided all that early util damage. No real shrapnel to complain about.
I think they're going to throw the smoke wall late. You can see them now transitioning behind red, and they'll line this up, and they'll trickle this out, which means they'll be faster to react with numbers. It's not players throwing this from spawn. So they have more bodies now to push on down, and Config spams to find just a chunk of damage there onto Breno.
Yeah, let's see how this setup works out. Brollan. Sharpshooter. Sprays down Turtle. Well handled. Good flash and being run on down now. Has to hold his ground on control and does so with a very controlled spray. Exit gone. Henny's got a lovely angle for this one. Config's out. Well, actually looking the right way. Still not able to post the frag. Henny's 1v5 dreams. 1 of 5 in the right direction. Only 4 more steps, 4 more headshots, and Rez is here to ruin his plans. And fun. Or not. Oh, he gets the info and the frag. All right, Henny. Slow your roll.
Usually pretty good in the clutch as well, but a 1-on-5, right? I know we saw Katie win one the other day.
Yeah.
And with much less time, mind you. These aren't meant to happen. There need to be a couple more unforced errors. Oh, there's the ding. This one should be done now. 28 seconds.
And if he had managed I can't imagine NiP would recover. Like, straight up, tilted for the half. Tilted for the half.
And this is where like they did a good job with the basics. At the moment, with the understanding of teams, you just saw the outside smokes land. Alexi pushes ramp, finds insani in lobby, right? If you're going to see a smoke wall, you expect numbers outside. So those basics have to go well. And a basic should be closing out a 1-on-5. So well handled. And they grabbed themselves the second round. Should be able to afford themselves some drops from Alexi and Brollan over towards Rez and Config, unless they're expecting the eco. And then you might see a couple of SMGs in the mix here. But good shots here from Brollan. Just stalls out any attempt to get down towards the B bomb site. And should be sitting pretty right now to close things up to a 3-3 scoreline. And yeah, it will be Glocks. But they did drop the guns. They don't want to carry through any residual SMGs. If you got the funds, why the hell not? That's my motto in life.
Why the hell not? F-I-D-I.
WC.
Thank you.
Look, now, I don't know. I guess I should wait for confirmation. I did want to try and talk to Rush again, right? These were his favorite rounds. Remember back in Pro League?
Testing.
Oh,
testing.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Calling in from outer space by the sound of things, Rush.
Yes, I'm on the space station. Is this talking tower?
I love how overwhelming this is. It's great.
It is. It's like it's more than my brain can process.
Is it clear?
It's the most jarring experience I could have hoped for. It's great to hear your voice, Rush.
Yeah, I found this mic in the, you know the Lego box with all the Legos in?
Oh, yeah,
I found the mic in there.
Oh, that's
great. Should be good though, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's
Yeah,
really, really
I'd
good.
probably take like 5 to 10 dBs off of you, but...
Okay, well, I'll whisper, guys.
Pass the round though, Rush. Give us the round.
Well, anyway, Alexi B here's got head trick to support. Drops down, Turtle pushing in. The USP in hand, he's got it. Config taking a bit of damage. Oh, and it's an Alexi B kill. Config still on the line. Henny, he's in a very precarious spot now, dropping back. And now the round slows down. It could be Alexi.
You see what he did there? You see that round?
That was amazing.
Yeah.
No, do you know, I think Rushley is in that very exclusive club. I think only Tosspot is also in that.
Yeah.
Whereby it's not that he can't do it, it's that he's got better options.
That's true.
You know, like,
yeah.
he could be the best caster in Counter,
That's
right?
true,
But he just
the best
he's
observer.
the best observer.
Yeah, okay.
He's wanted elsewhere, the same way a Tosspot was. That man could sit down tomorrow and be one of the best casters in esports.
Thank you,
Anyway,
Rush.
Glocks are out. Well, they got him, Ian. See you later.
Bye.
Hi, Rush. I hope Rush is ready
I'm kind of glad that's over. It was the
shine.
backing noise. It was the background noise.
No, but that's everybody in production. That's the ambiance.
Oh, no.
I wanted you to feel immersed.
I was.
That's what is around Rush right now. All those distractions.
Yes. Yeah, and somehow he manages to keep us on the right page. God bless him. Oh, dear. Especially on Nuke, not an observer's favourite, I'm sure.
Well, we do get a timeout here. The first one called. That's Bit, coach of MIBR, Brazilian legend as far as the Counter-Strike scene goes. And on the other side of things, well, you did just see DJL conferring with Alexi B, the man on your screen, the luscious locks. And they will need a lot of micromanagement in terms of how they want to approach these rounds at the start, on the CT side, at the T side especially. But when you get into the mid-rounds, it's going to be up to some smart Counter-Strike. And I know that seems like just a throwaway statement, but not overextending, understanding your position, understanding your importance, and just playing some good mid-rounds, because you won't be able to rely on having these preset theory to dig you out of holes.
Head trick on that AWP again. Des touched on it, but bringing in a primary AWP, and of course, letting Rez back onto that rifle, such a necessity. One of the sharpest Swedish tools in the shed, and head trick. That main AWP has let one go. Hard shot, flustered, and not going to make the same mistake again, this time onto Henny. Still, those have descended. It's Brano parked in warehouse, Turtle up on main roof, and insani down. Rez has caught him. That's that lobby lurker, as we know, and I'm sure as do NiP, so Brollan. Oh, he goes on an adventure solo, costs him his life and the advantage of his team.
Yeah, looking for information there. So this is what I'm talking about in the mid-round. So oversteps the mark, allows this to be a 3-on-3 as a main smoke is deployed. Now, this is hoping to usher across that of Turtle to join the rest of the pack here. So
Quite a hard commitment.
towards, well, this is the thing. If you can get around now towards the heaven position, and a standard reaction here from NiP to start taking lobby space. They're aware. So this is the chessboard of Counter-Strike being played out in front of everybody right now. Lobby space clear. Down secret. No real noise being made at this juncture. And lying in wait, Mr. Alexi B up and over on the back of the site. He should be able to shut this out with 1 or 2 kills, right? He can pivot. They're going to clear out ramp now. He can now turn his attention more to decon and the double doors / window.
Let's see Alexi's reaction, because it's being called cleared now. Rez is back ramp. He's still looking.
He knows now.
Now he's adjusted his angle.
And he has a crossfire. Beautiful.
Door open. Adjusts and deleted. Okay, need one from Rez, need two. And they're there in the feed now. No time, no hope, and nobody left. MIBR shattered upon arrival. 4 kills from Rez in the feed. We were just mentioning his return to the rifle and, of course, going to be having high expectations of him in the fragging department.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? I think the term, I first heard it, I believe it was from Devil Walk, maybe it was Get Right, one of the two, but a Swede that's won a major, let's put it that way.
Sure.
About secondary AWPers. The term they called it was hobby AWPers, right? And that's the thing, when you don't have to do it as your primary role, you have so much freedom, people aren't expecting it, they're not counter-stratting you. Everybody thinks they can be an AWPer in the early days, and then, well, they tend to quickly change their mind as Brollan spamming down with the AUG, rolling back the meta, stalls them out, but they're still down.
Yeah, they've very successfully managed to get through NiP's top site initial hold. Like, they've got lower whenever they wanted lower. It's just now a question of whether or not they could get that bomb down. Would be lovely to inject a bit of extra cash.
2 HP in a dream. Total does have the bomb. How's he going to be able to pivot here?
It kind of hinges on someone else somewhere else.
And this is the thing, we've seen Exit alive pretty late in a lot of rounds here, and sure, he's the man to close out these rounds, but he might have to be the one to initiate unless Config sniffs things out first. If he takes down Turtle, clears his hard right, well, that's the bomb loose, and guess what? That's not easy to retrieve.
Yeah, that might just be the end of that. It was a nice catch from Exit. You can see Brollan was probably set for 3 if it wasn't for his P250 response. And that same P250 now probably not going to get him too much further. Alexi will finish things off. 5 for NiP's CT side.
Interesting to see the AUG coming out. It was something that has been a big discussion. I think we've seen a few players, especially anchor players on like small bomb sites, using the AUG a bit more. Brollan using it here to try and stall them out squeaky door. So a lot of options available. A lot of bodies on the floor, isn't there? A lot of wandering souls out there on the tournament floor here.
And that's what it's all for. That Intel Extreme Masters Katowice trophy. Probably one of the most iconic in all of esports. Lifted by many a legacy name.
They're popping top here.
Yeah, and we'll see how far that gets them, because Turtle's in, but there's no one to receive. Other than Brollan, pushing the smoke, combines with Rez, Headtrick spotted Heaven, and still Config fragging. Look at the exchange. It boils down to a 2-on-2. Favors the CTs a little.
He's pinned. You're stuck at CT vent, mate. You're not getting out, Brenno. Oh, he is.
Oh, Alexi. Barrel betrays him, did not consider it. Now, really awkward for Headtrick. One directly underneath him, not an AWPer's paradise. And there you have it. That feels good for MIBR. Just a vicious flurry of frags into that top site.
Well, especially with how the trades went earlier, and the reason that that round looked a little bit wonky, there wasn't a top defense, is because they sent 3 players out towards main for the start, right? They didn't start with standard 2 Heaven. The Heaven players are usually the ones first spawn Molly squeaky, second spawn Molly's heart, but they kind of popped in. So MIBR are like, okay, they're in the site, they're flashed, we've got them cottoned off. They're coming in with that second wave of the attack, and it's this kill right here. I thought Alexi had Brenno every day of the week, but was trying to get ahead of the play, gave up his life, and well, speaking of play, we're back into it. Alexi with a bit more variance out towards Secret. Look, it doesn't feel like we're going to see players in the same positions too much here, right? This is the positive that I suppose NiP have. Nobody knows what to expect, right?
Including them.
Headtrick's only been in this team for a short period of time too. Yeah. So it's not like you've established necessarily a huge game plan of how you want to approach things. My biggest question is who's going to become the second voice in this team, because when Hampus was there, Alexi in-game leader, Hampus previous in-game leader, you'd expect him to be that second voice. So who's going to be contributing in that capacity?
Alexi, answering your question in the lobby, implied it might be Config. We'll see whether that's a different type of voice. Smokes are up. And Config, speaking of the devil, wants to go and ask some questions. They're just pushing in. Same as the previous. This time it works out wonderfully. The transfer from Config finds Henny. Over the smoke, Headtrick, oh, he hears it, or aware of it. There's one down the stairs, and Insani's caught Rez elsewhere on the hut and into the site. He's taking space and initiative.
Oh, they've given Turtle all this space, and if he just wanted to go into the site and plant, he could, because Lexi's trying to clear out lobby. Insani now has parked the bus in top site for anybody who wants to leer forward and try and clear this out. And, well, they have 30 seconds left, so they will need to initiate something soon. Headtrick, he's chasing his tail.
And the longer Turtle waits to open that door, the worse it gets.
Oh, he's screwed now. Surely Turtle's up a creek without a paddle.
You'd think so. Like, Insani's not selling anyone. Alexi knows. He can hear, he can check it. And now with Turtle opening that door, Headtrick can just stampede down, second-guessing himself now. It gets a bit awkward. Because that bomb Ticking in MIBR's favor. Alexi down the vents, and insani not considering that one. It was Hedrick's presence that's confused him, and now with their powers combined, it will be an NiP 6th. I'm going to go jog back to grab his Zoom banger.
Favorite weapon, a bit of a smile on the face. Config spray transfer out towards Yard was fantastic, right? But it's a clear style of Counter-Strike NiP are trying to play here. Where are you? Let's fight, right? They're more than happy to get stuck into these duels. Flashed forward, and they have spoken on where they wanted to clear, right? Brollan taking the B line, trying to push closer towards T-spawn. Config going wide around red, and that second kill integral into being able to convert that round. So nice one there from the Ninjas.
Yeah.
But a plant facilitates another buy here for MIBR, and almost with all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, we've seen this.
Don't roll, stay.
Still.
Come on now, be good.
Please, stay.
Roll up the newspaper, whack him on the nose, Turtle.
Come back here.
See, he needs the in-game leader to say, yo, can we please throw the smokes? They're actually running. Oh, he stopped.
Okay.
Good boy.
Yeah, I saw that some players have even got lineups for the drop.
Oh, yeah,
Just to make sure it doesn't roll.
This is a Yard fake into a top pop. They're going to come out hot here with big forces.
Config likely to try and get info behind those smokes if anything's to go by the previous. Doesn't have support this time, and, well...
Pulling him.
Rez, shoulders, gets one, and loads the magazine, but gets nothing more. Brollan got a lot to do. The molly's good. Buys time for the heaven rotate.
Pull that one off, boys, and they're getting pushed again. The fight coming through radio once more.
I like this. Hedrick's in a power position now. You cannot even consider ramp without meeting that orb. And forward again. Oh, a missed shot. That one stings. And now perhaps the bait and switch. Will they consider Alexi?
But Orpa very rarely pushes ramp on his own. So good awareness here not to try and test their luck, because Alexi is waiting around that corner with this MP9. Rerouting again, but tends to be time the biggest issue. You can see here we do have the cam of the player on the roof. That will be exit. He's waiting for any lobby advances, as the rest of them are starting to make their way outside. And, well, it could be a top split through main, but time, again, very pressing.
Nice call out completely there. Brollan wanted to work through Squeak. Pantsed now, and, yeah, Alexi might be able to catch something on his MP9, but just looking the wrong way.
That's a bit deflating, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not the ideal.
They felt like they had the right moves, they were taking the right fights, they stalled out the initial play of the top pop, and at that point you're thinking, what can MIBR return to? But the positive for me about the way MIBR are playing is they're not too concerned about the time, and they're grinding away at these T rounds here, and even starting to hunt Config, who's picked up this AWP. He's pinned towards the back box, and insani, he might even sniff him out here.
This is cheeky. I mean, Config knows he has to be actively looking, and will catch insani, but the rest is coming his way now. Trying to hold on to this orb too towards him. Nades, volleys, and Turtle falls. Well done from him, but not the save. Henny from behind, from the depths. It takes it all away, and even scavenges it away for his squad mates. So now, not only do you only have 2k to splash, no fancy AWP as well.
Yeah, that's a key, right? Because if you have the AWP and some upgraded pistols, and you're on the CT side of Nuke, okay, we can have a conversation. And, well, speaking of conversations, that's exactly what NiP are going to do. DJL hits the big red button, wants to have a conversation, and getting fired up there on the MIBR camp. Some good rounds. Yeah,
I mean, never mind getting that first one on the trade on Hut, but he even has the presence of mind and preparedness to handle that aggressive and admittedly a missed AWP shot, but push nonetheless.
It's not too gimmicky either, right? They're reacting, so they always seem to have a key piece of utility. But there's been a couple of rounds where they've been disjointed, and it could have looked a bit better, but hey, you can say that about almost every team. And this is an opportunity to tie things up for MIBR. You do have Breno into a Mac 10, and he has one of the better spawns. So do you want to send him forward, try and farm up some of these unarmored USPs? That could be one way to kick things off. They were fast on the last anti-eco.
Stampeding straight towards this ramp stack. There's 3 here. Mac 10 should be fine, and already handles the first. Opens up the door and descends down the ramp. Here comes Config's attempt, and it is 1 to the dome. insani not stopping for anyone. Apart from Brollan.
Oh, you cheeky bastard!
$100 dues, not bad.
He might have just been able to get the AWP now for Hedrick, because Hedrick only has 4.3. Brollan now has 5.9. He could potentially drop this AWP for... He has. They made it work. Otherwise, there would be no AWP. Brollan with the knife kill brings out the AWP. I can't believe he went for this.
That's cheeky. Very
He played with
cheeky.
JW over Flusher for too long, didn't he?
I don't think I've ever seen Brollan go for a knife.
No.
Ever.
We would ask him about it. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not about that silly business.
But this one actually makes sense.
Yes, we'll
This
give
is-
you that one, Brollan.
Yeah, he's not trying to do any BM. He's purely here for the economics. And this, let's see if Hedrick's AWP, or rather Brollan's AWP in Hedrick's hands, gets him anywhere.
Charitable donation, I believe this is another smoke wall towards Yard once more. Breno surging forward, takes the space, and has secret control. A minute 30 on the clock. This is nice.
Like you said, kind of MIBR playing it by the book and playing it well. And now we're to charge into config, fully flashed into the top site. Brollan nervous, has to deal with multiple fights, every angle, and just like that, they collapse. The ninjas, with all the subtlety as they fall to MIBR.
This is beautiful. They've conditioned them with different looks of these smoke walls now that it's hard for NiP to be able to expect what's coming their way. That was secret control taken. Nobody's close. They have no info. They haven't pushed through the smokes into a top split. And now back down to another 8.
Bro, they could end 9-6, like very real. Very real. I mean, at least an 8th. Considering the finances, this is a haul on the T side from MIBR. We talked about the importance of starting strong in these best of ones, and MIBR already equipped to disrupt.
I want to point out some key credit again to the young lad Insani here in some of the rounds that he's had where he's bailed them out of difficult situations. But I remember early when they almost lost that eco round.
1v1 it came down to.
He was able to clutch it up there against Rez on the rafters. So some good work from him. Another new name, him and Breno getting to step up to the big leagues. And Henny, well, he's been finding impact as well here. 11 kills for him. And Rez will take down Breno, who loves to overstep the mark and skedaddle, get on out of town, use that AK elsewhere. Going through their paces here. Yard control, as we can see, almost completely under their remit. Warehouse, fine. Play ahead of this main smoke and now turn your attention towards the heavens. Oh, and Turtle did spot one. And his head trick trying to be a little bit jarring with this Deagle.
Unenviable position now because you know you're not only being held, but you're likely being crawled upon.
And Exit's one of these really annoying players who you might expect him in the next, 5 or 10 seconds. He'll wait 20.
And then it'll be there at just as you start to overthink it, or contact is taken elsewhere. He's in no rush. Head trick. Dead man walking. Insani still holding his lobby well. Exit going to be up on that rail for the clear. And Rez will find him first. A big find back. Can the ninjas disrupt further? Yes, they can. Hedrick onto Turtle makes things very scary. Henny with that AWP and bomb. Might want to rethink things with 15 seconds left.
They have to go A.
Got to plant top site. It has to be A. And it has to be an Insani double if they want a chance at this. Flash, frag. Oh! Team Flash, and that's that. NiP with a recovery. We were just talking. 8 guaranteed. 9 possible. Never mind. NiP managed to flip the script with a bit of pocket lint and a couple of gobstoppers.
Yeah, and right there, I'm talking about how Exit is really annoying on these lurks. Well, he overcooked the pooch a bit, didn't he? Because Rez has come along, found him, bottom spanked right here, and that initiates the rest of the fight. The team flash, a little bit off the mark there. Poor Insani copying that from Henny. Definitely not the intention of the play, but that's how it all unfolds. 7-7.
I may have done an injustice to Rez and his impact there. I wasn't necessarily pointing the credit where it was due. I mean, not only did he equip himself with that AK with that 5-7 frag, but then proceeded to save and bail out Hedrick and win the round with the third. So an impactful round from Rez. Top of the scoreboard now for the Swedes.
They've salvaged this half, though. The fact that they're in the position to grab 8, considering how that stretch of rounds, once the guns came out, followed through. Good attempt. These desks, no. None of that.
Absolutely no parkour in
This
the studio.
cannot be the jungle gym that we traditionally have going our way.
It was just muscle memory.
I saw, and you caught yourself and the whole setup very quickly there as well, so... it's a comedy sometimes, so we do enjoy ourselves back here.
Let's see how this final round plays out. I'm intrigued to see if NiP can make that promise a reality. 8 and not to Config. He's going to be forced to watch as this final round transpires. At least of our first half here.
Hedrick very noisy about this, but I don't think those footsteps will have been heard. Nobody close enough from MIBR as they, again, just take their time, regroup, have that pack mentality. Smoke wall, very, very possible. They still have 4 remaining on the T side. Most teams are throwing their smokes quite early to force CTU to force a bit of reaction. And, well, they have a reaction. Here comes Headtrick.
I like it. Proactivity from NiP. And from Headtrick in particular. Breno's already caught Brollan, though, and the trade is delayed. He's got nothing to report. Oh, wow. Breno nearly ready for the AWP. Gets him low. Back to lobby. Smoke towards main. I like this from Alexi. We'll have the vantage point up on the hut. Now Molly needs to reposition. Flashed, flames, and alive. At the bare minimum. Gap is spotted. Identified. Insani trying to stop that vent. Rotate. Beautifully played from MIBR. Now it gets really awkward because that bomb can go down uncontested. Insani's still keeping Alexi B on a very tight leash. Oh, you wouldn't.
Oh, the timing on this.
Gamed him here. I reckon he's even ready for this angle. Go on. Oh, perfect. Alexi at least gets that info. Gets that frag. But how is he supposed to get into this site? It is all on Alexi. I mean, Headtrick with 19 HP. We saw that earlier from Breno's damage.
Has to go for it here. Surprised Headtrick's not making a move.
It's the last round, and it's just all on Alexi. Now he's on the lowest HP. Exit. Okay, on the quick switch. Headtrick loses his life, and it does look like MIBR will leave with a T-side lead at the end of the half. 8. That is quite a magnificent haul. Happy with that one. NiP, though, considering the circumstance, a bit of a recovery. We will be breaking it down, I'm sure, when we come back from our halftime break. Salutations, Counter-Strike fans. Welcome back to the IEM Katowice broadcast. It is day one, and we can't wait to get our teeth dug deep into the Counter-Strike to come. In fact, well, it has really come thick and fast. MIBR NiP giving us one of the most competitive fixtures, I reckon, of the day. If it can hold up like this, MIBR playing some solid Counter-Strike, and NiP are functioning with a new integration. Getting Config and Headtrick situated has led to a bit more volatility in their play.
Yeah, I think I called it Pug with Frills.
Pug with Frills, I love it. And now I want to see if this Pug with Frills has got some bite to its bark. You see what I did there?
Yeah, a dog reference.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yep.
But I'd already done that, so we'll move on. 1xBet does favour a little bit towards MIBR's side, and understandably so, given it's an 8-round T-Haul.
And NiP are actually taking a bit of pace out of things here early, making sure that there isn't an aggressive CT maneuver coming their way. They've spread the field. Config on top of main. That will have been heard. Headtrick towards red, and Rez throwing a supportive smoke here. Config can now leap around and take this fight to Breno.
Yeah, which is he preparing for himself. Wants to make sure he's in a favourable one. Hidden behind that box. It's not real too easy with a Glock and USPs peppering you. You don't quite know where. Jumping to evade shots and still alive. Still alive. Config finally fell. And into the ramp they go. Nice find. Henny gets nothing done. And that exit on that drop at least gets the info. And woo, good clicks. Brollan's equipped himself with those dualies. Scavenged and fragging.
Look where the bomb is, though, Alex.
Oh, that is a shame. It is a shame. Not going to be easy to retrieve. A frag here from Brollan with all things leaping through the window. With the pistols akimbo.
Maybe not a problem anymore.
Yeah, well, he can go down secret if he fancies. And it does look like he's on that trajectory. Now, Turtle might catch him here. Oh, perfect. In the back, into the spine. Alexi down. Brollan forced to find another two. A pair of frags already. 25 seconds. He will be able to at least get the info on this first fight. Insani handles business. Doesn't run away. Doesn't cower. Takes the jewel. 9.
And 3 for Insani here. So another impact
pistol,
round. Yeah, so a great round from him again. So more praise to be thrown his way, and that is going to be both pistols. Let's see if it can be both conversions, because this one was handled. And what a shot this was from Brollan, bouncing his noggin off the top of the window ledge right there. The goosh and the kill from Turtle at range. Very well handled, and enjoying that one, because now NiP, well, they're going to be rocking around with their Glocks out. A lot of SMGs here, so look, unless a few of these get taken away by some overzealous peaks of MIBR, they will likely be carried into the next round of play, which once they work out is just Glocks without head armor. It might change the way they approach the round. Right? They might see themselves going a bit more aggressive with an aggressive lobby move, or you might just start lower immediately in case you're expecting a smoke wall and for them to cross, so you already have players secret with the SMGs up close, not taking the fight from, say, double doors or back single door area.
It does look like they're working it out very quickly here.
And watch, they just surge forward now, especially these SMGs. You get emboldened once you know that there's no head armor because you just rip them apart. The fire rate here of the MP9 is really doing work. Everybody's getting their fill. Shout out to our producer, Phil.
One time. Well, there you go. And actually, perfectly, mostly SMG frags. You had 2 rifles, Dexit and Insani, not needed to do too much. So extra cash for this defense.
And they are holding on to these SMGs here. They're not upgrading, even though if Henny wanted, for example, he could buy an early AWP, but it looks like he's going to stick to his guns quite literally.
I mean, if they win the bonus, it's really bad.
Yeah. And
for NiP, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. If you lock down topside with SMGs, it's not too bad, right? You can actually stall them out here, but I think maybe a push might be on the agenda. Standard deep smoke in the meta right now to stall out fast yard plays. Brollan ahead of the wave. And as I mentioned, 2 SMGs straight down towards B in case there is a secret wall smoke, but ramp has been foregone. And by giving that up, this is key real estate. So a good heads-up call here from Alexi and Brollan to take this space.
Gap identified and thoroughly
It's
investigated.
scary.
Look what they're up to here. This is going to be a fruity round as from behind Insani, the only M4, the only rifle, caught out first.
They were ramped to ladder base at 1 minute 20 seconds, and that wasn't on an eco round. You don't see that every day of the week, and now they are caught off guard all across the map.
And he's ready for this 2-man lower early. I mean, he's even cleared not only the first onto Breno, but he seems aware that likely another's down here.
Oh, Henny lying in wait. You can see in the pip here. He might have a chance to farm this up.
Ooh, Config.
Time.
Catches a perfect time. He just averts his gaze, worried about Alexi B, and heading towards that single door. Actually tucks into the...
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
you're dead now, mate. I think maybe Alexi spotted a foot here as well. Maybe not. He's being very diligent on the clears. Come back down, Henny.
yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I don't fancy the... Oh, there you go. That's the sound cue. That will give him all the information they need.
That's a save.
Let's save the bonus.
Let's spell save.
Well, let's find Insani's M4 first. Let's go get that.
I was going to do a fun little gag where I spelled boring.
Okay.
But it's too late now.
I've ruined it.
No, it's all right. We can try it again later.
We come back?
There'll be
Okay.
plenty of saving.
Yes.
Don't you worry about that.
Goodness.
Saving 2 MP9s.
It's not ideal.
Nobody loves to save the SMGs.
Yeah, and I think Exit's probably really ready to get rid of this FAMAS. Guys, we're not going to go for that. That makes sense, I guess.
Well, it's a bit of a risk because it's in...
Yeah, but you got MB9, man.
I know, but at least next round everybody will have something.
Yeah, and 3 weapons is better than 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, interesting one there for NiP, and I still can't believe the amount of space that they've taken here. Here's the timing on the replay, as you guys can see here, the cat and mouse game. And I'm sure you've all experienced this at home. He just look, every turn, Config's just on his trail, but what a great replay that was.
Okay, well, now we get to see a bit more artillery.
An AWP.
We are, an AWP no less, and a full M4 for Insani. Let's go. See what the first call is out of Alexi B's playbook. A lot of util invested towards this yard crawl. And a quick one out of Alexi B. Stops Turtle in his tracks, trying to investigate towards that squeaky door. Now, Insani knows he's gone down. There has to be someone to acknowledge that.
It might happen again, Alex. Might be another save here, mate. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, but they're currently all still on the upper deck.
So B, O.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bingo was his name-o. The thing is, if Henny transitions... He is? Okay. Never mind. Round back on.
Yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong, Henny.
Single door, underarm the smoke, take back sight control, push up close to Astralis.
And save.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Here comes the door and the smoke.
They're going to wait for full clear on radio.
No smoke? No smoke?
Okay, Henny's actually got the first. Now,
Oof.
Rez is very quick on the draw there.
And I'll take that. Thank you very much.
All right, well, we'll wipe the slate clean and have another go.
Good to see you guys. Yeah. Hey.
No,
yeah.
just stopping by.
Yeah,
Just popping over.
Yeah, we would like the cup of tea. Now we'll take it next time. Hold up, Brollan. He's got him pinned. This is 2 players coming through the lobby, trying to remove these rifles. You're not going to save on his watch and can't connect. So exit. A late trap through the hut and probably a little bit too late. Alexi, he's not going to force the fight.
Exit got rid of his FAMAS. That's got to be a good feeling.
Okay.
An AP-47 for his hard work there.
How hard do you hunt, though? That's the real question.
Probably not hard enough.
Maybe as hard as Mark Hunt hits.
Ooh.
It took me too long to get there.
Yeah.
And he
Fun
might
to-
not
fun
be
to
relevant anymore. I don't think people have seen Mark Hunt fight in a couple of years.
He's the only famous fighter man I've ever seen in the flesh.
He was a big man.
Big man.
He didn't help me throw Carmack into a bed of pies, however, which was I think he didn't want to do his back.
Yeah, I reckon. It would be a pretty bad excuse, wouldn't it? What happened? Well, it was the caches, you see.
Yeah.
It was the caches.
So you're missing the heavyweight
Yeah.
MMA fight because you were doing some silly stunts at a video game event, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, look, guys, we might get around to Counter-Strike very soon as a timeout has been taken here. The third from MIBR. They saved their goodies and guns, and well, they're coming back out to play for yet another day. Everybody on NiP, they're sitting pretty as well. Headtrick's AWP equipped. Brollan yet to buy, but I assume it'll just be the AK-47. Now, the question is, do MIBR want to try and set the tone? Because they've been dictated to here, even though they did try to make some plays. Alexi and NiP have found the gaps. So you've got to be questioning here.
So, 2 rounds in a row for the Ninjas. Let's see, with full guns, if they can make it a third. Their enemy more equipped than prior.
The AWP over towards ramp as well, so if they wanted to try those faster hijinks that we saw from Alexi and Brollan, it will be stopped immediately. Breno needs to be careful on this fight because config's already set up. Smoke wall almost at the ready. Just double checking the lineups here, and the jump throws to swiftly follow. Deployed.
And likely Breno to peek, right? Molly will cancel that. Speculative spray out of Insani, nothing connecting. Just config on the crab walk. The whole squad behind this wall, and over the top of it, it's Brollan. Takes Insani down. And now they can go anywhere. The fact you've killed Heaven, ooh dear. Just a lot of lost information now. You can see the CT start to cower at the uncertainty. Could be lobby, could be main, could be hell. Oh, hell.
And this is the thing, they should try and push lobby here. You can see Brenner's going to drop this smoke defensively now, well-timed, and it will stall out the crawl from Alexi, but he could just throw a piece of utility and it will likely keep the interest of Breno. It has to be a gamble, and he understands that well. So a top-site lockdown, MIBR need this.
Oh, this would be perfect. If Config could find the AWPer.
Wait, they're still going B-split.
Yeah, if Henny gets this, if Henny doesn't expect this, boom. Oh, wow, that's a wide open B side. What a rounded counter-strike from the Ninjas.
They are actually just outmaneuvering them in a lot of these scenarios. That's 3 consecutive rounds. MIBR had to take a gamble with that topside stack because you're expecting the lobby, the Heaven press when they have so much space, but they've actually gone around the world and split ramp. They didn't rush the situation. They stayed calm, stayed as a group, and profited from it. And this one right here, this is Insani overstepping the mark, because traditionally when you see the L block, players will stay close to it, right? But he thought he had the liberty to get away, and Brollan punished just over the cusp. And, well, that's how they got the opening, and that's a long way down for poor Mr. Insani there. That's a tough lesson to learn.
Yeah, and that's those shallow smokes. You know, there's a reason they're thrown and can peek over the top of them. And I think, of course, as your role from that Heaven player, you just want to be putting bullets down into that smoke, tagging him up on the descent to secret, and yeah, punished for his desires there. But yeah, it seems like Alexi, of course, don't know where those calls are all coming from, but it seems like right now they're just running rings around this MIBR defense. Henny looks like he's having a little bit of a microphone issue. I would question.
You know, the coach will fix it.
Yeah. Coach will do all of the hard work, as will DJL. You can see him there behind the Ninjas in pajamas.
The problem is MIBR have already used 3 timeouts, but you'd love to use another just to like kind of not slap him around, but say, yo, this is getting away from us now. Let's get a CT round here. We had the pistol, we had the conversion, but when the guns come out, it's been all NiP.
Charging straight through. The flash is good, blocking the door, but in. Alexi B kicks open the door, and Brollan quick to follow up with a double of his own. It's back from Henny. Needed 2 and only the 1, as we see a very quick round, and that's lovely. The pace change, just as you've probably perfectly highlighted, that MIBR are having this, lads, we need to find a round now. Let's get into our headspace. You have no time to be in your headspace because your screen is white and your teammates are dead.
And when you play around like this, there's no opportunity to even think about the save because they're just trying to plug these gaps. So everybody throwing their bodies on the line, right? Let's get in, let's fight, and well, you blink and they're dead. 1 minute 36, round over, out of pennies, down to an eco, NiP on quite the spree.
Smiles from Brollan, I'm sorry.
I'm sure Config would say some real fun stuff, right? I'm sure he has a couple of, I don't want to say choice words, that sounds, but I'm sure he has a couple of little funny remarks that he'll be making here.
Quips.
Yeah. What was that game we played?
Quiplash.
Yeah, that was fun. There's a couple of those that were pretty good.
Shout out Jackbox Games one time.
Yeah, we spent a fortune. I think we've all bought different
I think across the CS talent team, we have every party pack.
We've got it covered.
But yeah, good fun.
You can tell our parties, they are lit.
Yep. Salt shaker.
Oh, dearie. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, remember OJ brought the salt shaker?
Yeah, we'll see OJ again soon.
We will.
Yeah. His game's somewhat stalled out here. But I think one of the keys, if I'm the analysts, I'm the NiP fans at home, what you're looking for here is not something that is extremely ironed out. You're looking for, on the CT side, realistically, multi-frag potential, right? Because that's something you can carry through in a lot of different scenarios. And on the T side, if Alexi is able to keep that leash just tight enough, you give him enough to have a look and maybe make some plays to open you up rounds. But when he says, oh, we need to make this split, we need to make this move, he needs to know that the tools, the pieces he has are available. And here we go, just mopping up a couple more. Total grabs one back, and Annie from up top has grabbed one. This is looking good now.
Renault's been handed a very manageable situation. One more to head trick, and it's game on. Low HP. Supported as well. They're both on the same angle, so should be fine. Config saves them by the bell. Head trick with 3 HP. Very close call there.
Yeah, is that the closest round on the CT side since the pistol and conversion?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is one of those bogey rounds on the eco scenario. So this one here, it got a little bit dicey, but handled. Good kill from Config.
And I mean, we're directing the praise to NiP, and I think rightfully so, but there's something alarming in the fact that if you have an 8-7 T-side lead on the half, and in your opening game against a big name, a storied org, you gotta feel like you can make the most of this. And this is insani. Of course, you can see new MIBR player and absolutely body bagging from the academy and having no issue in the transition.
I think when you were talking about the scoreline as well as this kid putting up some numbers here, right? Well, those are the signs that you want to be going well, and they have been until now. So the fourth and final timeout has been taken. How much more can you ask of this kid? He's got 17 frags to the name, 20 for Henny. You need a bit more out of Exit, Turtle, and Breno, who have more experience than insani here in these international jaunts. Maybe he will just continue to monster things up. See if he can mash NiP into a bit of a pulp here, but again, back into the fray.
He's on his way. Config quick onto the roof. insani to be tested again, but here comes Dane and brings the pain. Down he goes, and more to come on the gap of the smoke. Alexi B makes a meal of it. Turtle the one to snap. And leaves us in a 4-on-4 down the ladder. Henny pants traded. This is a fruity round. Charging now towards the gap. Breno's got himself 30 bullets and a dream and one headshot. Traded by Brollan. Yikes. Okay, well, 21 points of health between the two of them. Good luck, have fun.
Is this another episode of Save Simulator, or are we interested in rounds here?
You might have a look. Very difficult to break a crossfire established now. Head trick set up.
If he misses, there's your window. And it's closed.
Sometimes you have to close a window to open a door.
And to give NiP another round. So 13-10. They've been able to pick themselves up 6 consecutive rounds here on the T side. And you could see the chaos, right? This is what we're talking about with the pug with frills, is that config play. Sure, he grabs the first, a little bit messy, makes his way around to heaven. He's dealing with multiple fights, right? That information, he's screaming. There are 2 players on me, and at that point, the rest of NiP can stretch their legs, take some space, and grab another as the bomb will go off. So Exit gets another save.
One observation, Chad, I think worth making is that right now, NiP are looking competent, capable, certainly more so on the T side, and they don't need config at the top of the scoreboard. You know, we talked about a little bit of we need to see Rez, but the fact Alexi's there, Brollan's there, and Rez in that countdown. You know, a lot of the names firing, which is a good sign of things to come if config doesn't have to be dropping 30 to be scary.
In matches like this, where NiP still come in as a favorite, even considering the circumstances, this is great. This is passable. It is going to become much harder against the bigger names. You need individuals to step up more so.
Like
but,
this angle.
This should be enough against a few of the names in the play-ins, that's for sure.
I don't think config's going to slow down. Crawling through, and Turtle's aggression has been met by resistance. Brollan on that lobby hold. Now, Alexi loves this, doesn't he? Just plays off the fade.
You can tell he's feeling comfortable. He's setting himself up for fights.
It's a nice observation. That's a nice deagle shot. insani 2 out of the hand cannon, and it's put them in a position to get themselves their first gun round. A gun, excuse me, deagle. And Alexi will be still undaunted in a 2v4. Plants 4 main open. The molly buys them time. And
smoke's better here.
AK, that'll do nicely.
There's a flash for Exit available here. They should give this one a look for sure. It was a half buy. Definitely contest a round like this.
Brollan going to re-smoke main, that's smart, but they are walking through. All tested. Brollan, all on him. Gets the first 2. Low on that first. No Molotov to stop, just the nade, and he's just not going to take bait above him. And jumped on. Exit has brought home the round. MIBR, it's a 10-second defuse. They should have it.
I'm flicking over here to see if it's the case. Very, very close and just okay.
Hey.
insani, not only did he get the massive deagle kills, he gets the defuse in the nick of time. Massive round. Again, he delivers.
What, so it's just insani? You need him on the first, you need him on the second. He reignites MIBR's fire after a leave of absence 6 rounds without MIBR feeling like they got to play the video game. insani with an insane double deag.
Brollan trying to stall them out coming through this hump position here, right? He's able to pick up 2. Alexi goes down to insani again, who was already low. A nade just before he got on the defuse from a teammate even chunked away more health from insani there. And nice little run boost. Config gonna mount the jump and be way ahead of the play here.
This is crazy. Look at the speed of this. Insani unprepared as his head removed from his shoulders and advantage seized by NiP.
But is that all it's going to take? They've removed this kid who is playing a very important role of this yard rifler. He's gone now. It's Henny's turn.
You have to get through Henny. Top of the scoreboard for a reason. That's supposed to be a trade. Even Config can't beat the quick scope of Henny. Nice one from Brano. Just plucks the head out of Rez, and he's sticking around for more. That's rare and amazing. No triple. Okay, that's that Brazilian fire right back in the belly.
Oh, the alligator snaps away with a double there and sets Breno up for 3. That is a beautiful round.
Balls on him to not drop after the first.
Exactly. Bang on. Especially with that number advantage. You're expecting your round player get one and fall. Allow the rotation to come in, but he will not let anybody pass that line of sight. And now a timeout from the Ninjas. You can see them talking away here as we'll get this quick double from Henny. Bang onto the second right here. Config does not get a chance. And just as we thought Insani's death was enough to get NiP back into winning ways, this happens.
This is baller. That's second onto Brollan. Never mind the third. Slaughters them, and now you can see the vibes back to premium levels. They cannot be stopped. They cannot be tamed. MIBR looking to close out what was a strong start. Still, 2 in a row. NiP have already proven that they can manage their T-side crawls.
This is the Deagle again, which has kind of got the fire started here to get them back into this 2 round of winning ways. And just standing and delivering that second shot absolutely beautiful as we do get back underway with play.
Safe on that corner. Exit can play the hut. Maybe overlooked if they do consider an advance, but instead you can see on that map.
Remember what worked well for NiP before, the divide and conquer. Take the space, force the rotations, and then it felt like Alexi B was outmaneuvering MIBR in a lot of the calls. So again, back to this L-block smoke wall. Get secret control as well as warehouse, force the CTs into a bit more of pokey positions. No, it's just a secret cross, so no warehouse presence. They're just going to tuck on down. Completely out of the line of sight here. And who's going to deal with things? Well, none other than Turtle. Drops the smoke to slow the crawl, but they still have plenty of time to be able to initiate on towards this lower site.
Okay, I like this. So they're just boosting for the fade, hoping to catch the jump peak. Or at least just a tip of a head from a higher elevation. Now, Turtle's hearing all of this. He's summoned Breno. Crossfire established on this low site.
Brollan has vent. The only way down to help will be through ramp or flanking through secret.
25. They know this test is imminent. Turtle. Ready. Waiting. Nerves starting to grow as the smokes, the take, it's coming. He knows these fights imminent. And there it is. Onto Rez. Delivered onto the first. Config does claw it back, but with 10 seconds, they have to clear dark. Someone has to plant. Alexi's got the bomb. He has to be punching it in now. Anybody can stop him, and bang. We see another on the board. 13-13. We're all tied up.
And Hedrick very lucky to survive right there with that AWP. He was in the line of sight. He could have gone down after time. That would have been miserable. So all the cash in the coffers, it's whirred away. And Turtle, he didn't drop off. He got spammed twice. He was standing on that railing, got spammed through the floor and the wall, and then he just stood his ground and gets that opening kill. Now this is where NiP are definitely going to start to look a little bit flustered as they will now hit their 3rd timeout mark. And it's a lot more difficult for DGO to call something set, right? You don't have anything set.
Okay, I have the memory of a goldfish, but we did see 60 rounds from NiP, so what were our takeaways? What was working?
It was the outmaneuvering. But remember, there was a couple of more gambly or riskier CT plays that came into the mix. Remember, the double SMG pushed straight down towards lower, leaving ramp open. Then there were saves because they wanted to carry the guns forward. But those rounds weren't working, and now MIBR have found that, well, that recipe for success. But that was probably the best round, that one right there, as a team on the CT side we've seen. Right, they didn't overstep the mark. They played as a team. They had some good crossfires. It wasn't just individuals doing mental plays. It was everybody contributing as a unit to make this MIBR machine work. And if NiP lose this one, sure, the loss bonus is growing, but without a plant, buy will come into a question in the following round.
Big round now. Heavy ramifications. And it's Insani again with Config having a pixel jewel, just the tip of Insani's head visible. Config willing to take it. Forward stance. Now, Hedrick actually catches a little bit of those speculative taps. Flash to fight. They might just want to run into main here. They know they've isolated Insani. He's actually scarpered all the way to spawn.
Really good play here.
Cool. He can still completely deny the climb up the back. Oh, or not. Actually, Rez aware and deletes him.
Nice shot.
Sheesh. Okay, well, NiP, this is prime position for the close. Still 3 members of MIBR to disrupt. If he could find a multi-kill here, Breno in the off angle, hoping for one, needs another. As they do swing through, leaping to draw the crosshair, Config finds it, and now just 2 remain. Turtle charging to try and muster some degree of resistance here. Alexi timed perfectly on the peak. Turtle gets that away and doesn't give Hedrick that first fight. Instead, Jiggle, info, fight. Oh, Turtle! He's playing this masterfully as he's making a round out of thin air. The bomb's loose. It's in front of him. This advantage now grows. It swells as Brollan saves them with a nice low HP fight. Should enable a plant. As long as he plants safe, exits coming ramp. Does plant safe. Spots out Hedrick. Nades late in the wrong direction. Hedrick low. Brollan low. And exit just the one. That's 14. NiP. Rez, I think, has to get some credit for that. Brollan as well for the finish, because Turtle was determined.
Yeah, and there was one shot that went down. I think it was Brollan onto Henny there. That was to kick off the exchange that went down in lobby, right? Because there were so many fights that could have gone down at any moment there. But that was key. And the fact that Brollan went back up the ladder and survived, right? It meant he didn't give the life over, didn't turn it back into a 4-on-4 lobby. Always remained an element, a piece of the puzzle for NiP to finish. Both teams do have money, at least for round number 28. Could be going the distance here today, all 30 looking very likely.
Chip damage.
They're going.
Onto Turtle, charging. Brollan wins his duel and already into the top site. Exit's got a lot on his plate. Does find just the one, but already the top site feeling lost. What's Insani supposed to do with this? Heaven will be smoked. Breno back through lobby, but that's going to be the main focus of this afterplan.
Lost bonus 2,400 into the next. If you go for this, you risk it all. You risk it all anyway. Hedrick takes away Breno, and this one, first nail in the coffin here. NiP is going to
must save AWP, Henny. So onto Hedrick he goes. We'll start to back away.
NiP can't really hunt either. Well, sure, they're going to get up to 15, but you don't want to throw too many bodies at this and risk having not a whole lot in the next round. So secured it, 15 on the board. And as you said, it is a must-save because Henny will have to find some impact. At least as the 2 heavier hitters, Insani and Henny, holding on to these rifles. Drops aren't going to be looking too pretty either. Henny can drop 1 M4. Insani could drop an MP9, a FAMAS if he really wants. Breno could buy his own rifle to be equipped. So we've covered all bases, but NiP, these last few, it feels like they screwed their heads back on tight.
DJL's timeout, positive correlation there. 2 required from MIBR to force the overtime. Great first half, some slips and some fumbles and some brilliance out of NiP. Puts them at 15. Henny going aggressive and a nade from Brollan. Huh? And already another. Brollan's decided he wants to end it right here, right now. Alexi down the vents silently. No sound cue provided. That is a weird start to the round. This is supposed to be MIBR fighting to take us into overtime, and instead it's just Alexi B shooting fish in a vent. Or rather, turtles in a vent. Ooh. And down goes Insani. This is a deflating end to a very competitive map, but NiP without a single, 1 point of damage inflicted to them. Just jumping through the flaming hoop to finish.
Nothing Exit can do here. What are you meant to do? They know that all they needed this final kill to secure the round. He's completely cornered this AWP once more. Back a lobby. Shot missed. The kill might be nice, but it's just going to be for the stats right now.
Yeah, pad him up a little, a bit more. There we go. We have it. 16 secure NiP. Close but no cigar. MIBR take a stab. And a pretty convincing one. Henny, Insani, lessons learned. They're here. They're in form. but so are the Ninjas. Brollan close to 30, Alexi fragging and calling a good game, and, well, all the individuals doing what was necessary. Config, of course, getting to see him in those colors, performing well, and a convincing game towards the end. That T side looking good. We'll wrap things up and break things down at the desk after the break.